And then, and welcome back to another edition of Band Theories.
I'm in.
Bren.
And I'm Mike.
Matt Slow. All right, so we're going to be covering episode 7 of Wandavision. So heads up, spoiler talk. We're just going to get our opinions on this, some theories, and if we enjoy the episode or not. So thank you. Like, subscribe, all that nonsense. Now. So, episode 7.
Bam.
Bam.
Bam. We're in it. Okay.
So, WandaVision episode 7.
So
Yeah, total mind
looks
fuck.
like it's
A lot going on.
looks like a laid back episode though. She likes this laid back and she's just like, I'm not doing nothing today.
Yeah, like I saw a lot of people complaining. I'm like, oh, there was nothing really going on. I'm not sure what show they're watching because we're finally getting answers. You know, we're still left with some questions, but now they're finally answering things. And I'm super excited about that. From the very top, the way the episode opened up, it had that, that 2000s vibe. I really picked up on The Office real quick. Some Parks and Rec, Modern Family.
Happy Endings also. That was a show, Happy Endings, which Joe and Anthony Russo were behind.
You sprinkle a little bit of that in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was like, it was fun. The whole, talking to the camera and, the whole interview like things. Like Mike was saying, Wanda's taking a break, and it kind of shows that she needs a break because mentally right now she is out of it.
It takes a lot, to take over a whole town and expand the reach of it.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine.
It makes me sweat. It makes me sweat trying to do that. I do it all the time.
Only on Tuesdays and Fridays, but
Yeah.
I try to do that on Sunday, but it didn't work. Anyway, but let's just say, her mind is crazy at this point. She can't even control what milk looks like. Literally, she went from almond all the way to regular milk. I mean, what's going on there?
I think she's like really wearing herself thin now that she took over even a larger space.
No, definitely, it's starting to show like how much she can expand her power, and it's at the tipping point right now. So, is this going to lend to the idea that she is going to have she is going to break? She's going to like really snap, and this is just like the mental episode before like the breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's really interesting to see what they're doing. I'm glad they didn't linger too much on like the newer characters being sucked into Westville. Like, they could have did like a whole episode of them just being stuck in a circus. But no,
they could have done like I see that they could have done like a circus episode, but
no, but they went right into it. It was hey, these are Vision still out there. First of all, how messed up it is. She just left Vision out there. Like she saved him, but she was like, let's leave him.
If he doesn't want to come home, I can't make him come back. So
she's even snapping at the kids. Yeah,
like fuck him, let him be out there. Who gives a shit? Like he did it to himself.
Yeah, the kids were asking. She said, if Daddy doesn't want to be here, she's very like, there's like that separation now.
Mm-hmm.
They're on divorce. Oh, they're at divorce.
So
I think that's
But in every sitcom, you have those few episodes where the happy couple do kind of break up. Darcy did explain to Vision that she thinks that they're very much in love, which
I love that that he was like, no, wait, come here, and then he just zapped her and she came out of it.
That was pretty funny though, because he was like, we had that moment.
That sucked.
Yeah. It's like when he saw her, he's like, we had that moment, and she was like, no, like she was like,
she
her
was
role.
still kind of Darcy. She was still kind of Darcy, still,
Yeah.
Like, no, okay, fine, but I'm getting the lobster.
Yeah, that sarcasm that she tends to have as a character, it was still her. It was just her playing this role.
To me, it didn't feel like a change. She was like almost the same person. I mean, it literally is the same person, exactly.
Personality-wise, definitely, but Um,
I have questions. I have answers.
just
They get into the truck. Are my kids safe? I don't know. And who is that imposter Pietro? Beats me. So she
yeah.
has like no answers.
So I do love that they recognize that Pietro is an imposter.
Yeah.
You know, first with Wanda, when they were like, "Where's Uncle P?" And she's like, "No, that is not your uncle." So that's throwing out a lot of theories right
And who is
there.
he? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have answers.
Yeah,
She's
she
she's
was.
losing track of it.
Maybe he really is Ralph. Uncle P could be Ralph.
I was also thinking maybe Nicholas Scratch is Agatha's brother,
Oh, right. Son.
son.
I think son or brother. That's right. No, that'd be kind of cool to play up. So one of the reveals in this episode was um
Spoiler alert.
well, it's if you're watching this, you know. Agatha is it Agnes? Am I flipping the two names around?
Agatha. It's Agatha Harkness.
So
They
so
go
So
to it.
Agnes is Agatha.
yeah.
Yes.
So
We we hear a lot of other people speculated. Everyone had ideas that she was. So they finally revealed it. Her reveal was awesome. You
yeah,
know, they had the monsters music playing in the background, and they showed every instance in which she played a pivotal role in which she did things, down to killing Sparky, which now I kind of thought she was doing something behind that bush because that bush was shaking, and now to know she's behind it, she's like,
Yeah.
now
Snapping that neck.
do you think? And I don't know. I don't know much about like with the comics. I've seen some.
Mhm.
I've read some things about Agatha Harkness, but do you think she's doing this seeming deceitful, but really for a good reason?
I hope so because um,
You know, like there's a good like agenda
there's a good
behind all of
intention there.
this. Yeah, to try
Maybe
and maybe keep her sane, or or bring her into a certain direction that she needs her to be in, a state of mind, other than trying to take over a whole town and
Isn't isn't
you
this
know,
lady like a mentor anyway to Scarlet Witch at some
yes, in the
point?
comics,
yeah,
she played the mentor role. She is a actual witch. She was part of the Salem witch trials. She lived in a part of they made their own community, and yeah,
she
she
was
helped her with
burned. She was
yeah.
burned at the stake, and her powers went into somebody else that couldn't control those powers, and then they were pretty much like being zapped out of her, and then her like essence or aura was there. Her astral projection came up and told Wanda like, oh, take in this power, like absorb it. So she absorbed the power, and then with that power she was able to create her kids.
So yeah, so
So they
is
did
she really a villain?
tweak
Is
things.
there's a lot that's going on. As always with WandaVision, we're left with more questions than answers. I really did dig that big reveal and the whole leading up to it, but there was a lot that got us there.
It's kind
Um,
of like we knew it, but now it's like, okay, it's
yeah,
confirmed. Like since the first episode, people were like, oh, Agatha Harkness, Agnes. Oh,
yeah.
that's definitely her. Oh, it's her. It's her. So
I
every
loved
day,
how they did the little red herring, like where Vision was talking to her and brought her back, and we're like, oh, she's just another person in there. But then in this episode, they revisited that, and she was just like put on her makeup and just like,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
she was playing him. She was playing him
yeah.
the whole time. The
yep.
whole time. She
She
turned around. You saw it. She had a little witch
it's
outfit. She played him.
it's a little tongue in cheek because not only was she playing him, but she was playing a lot of the audience too. Because we all were thinking, oh, she's just a victim as well. And now we kind of learn, we know better. She's the reason a lot of this was happening. And even her opening line to Wanda, it was like, oh, you don't think you're the only girl with magic, It's very like it's spot on. It's right on the nose. So that's cool to see that. Like going back, Monica, she got in there. I was a little disappointed that her guys were just more military people. It looks like, they didn't reveal who designed it.
Yeah,
I saw
really
this group
shouldn't have.
instantly. I thought, are they scrolls? Are they just people who were, loyal to her mom? You know,
The
it's
mom.
maybe it's just that I wish there was like a bigger reveal there, but once again, it's, they're
Maybe there
taking us
is.
in one direction,
Maybe there
and then,
is. Maybe it was kind of like, oh, they're gonna amped up, and then they're gonna like, oh, Goodner,
yeah,
like, who's this? And then
it's,
they reveal like it's somebody else, and we're like, what? And then it's gonna
but just the fact that,
maybe it's a scroll in disguise, and that's her.
I really think that these people are scrolls. We might see that at the end. Something as simple as you see like this group leaving and then they'll just shift. It's like, oh wow, it really was scrolls the entire time. Who knows? Um, but going back to Monica, I'm super hyped that she went through and that little monologue and the voices she was seeing in her head between you had, I believe Fury was in there, you had her mom, you had
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, even Wu, and when she got out, she changed. Now,
You saw
do
like
we
all the
say,
versions of her that she's changed when she was
yeah?
in and out all the other times.
So now,
Those-
do we consider her a mutant? Is
Oh
this how
yeah.
mutants are born in the MCU, or is just how this is just how she gets her power? Because who's to say, maybe just because everyone in the hex right now, they have only gone through the hex once. If they have to leave the hex, that's twice. But at those point in times, nothing really happened to Monica aside from her, her body changing. But she didn't have powers. Is the third luck the charm? Do you need to go like in a third time for this change to happen? Or
Yeah.
maybe it's just something more to Monica her, just because how close she was with Captain Marvel and maybe just, being part of Sword and who knows what else she might have been exposed to. You know, they could go back and explain like, oh, the only reason why she had powers is because this, that, and this happened to her before then. But
But
who knows? I was
maybe
just
it's
hyped to see
that
that.
X gene. Maybe
Yeah,
she had it,
It's the
and
gene.
it activated the gene.
that's true.
That's how they, you gotta remember what they work with the mutants. It's all the genes. It's nothing to do
Well,
with like anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody can be hit with the same radiation or the same beam, but only those certain people with those certain like YLX or whatever that chromosome is changes and gets the powers.
Yeah.
That's they
But I
always
mean,
did that with
all
X-Men.
those hundreds of people that she caught up aren't going to be all mutants.
yeah.
No,
So we'll see what happens. But just seeing that, do you think she knows she has powers, or is it just happening like?
she
Yeah, she knows because
she knows
she
something.
saw she sees how her vision is different and how
No,
she
she
landed
so
after she got
yeah,
blasted by her.
she actually controlled her landing.
I think a lot of it is just instinct at this point, though. Like it's
Yeah.
not a matter of her purposely doing it; it's just instinct. So who knows what she's gonna be able to do when she has a full understanding and grip of her powers.
You look if you really look at her powers, she's almost like another Gambit. She has control of energy, and
Well,
she's
yeah,
able to go through with
it's
energy and
similar.
her change
It's
her body.
energy manipulation, similar to Captain Marvel. For a minute in the comics, besides being known as Photon, she was known as Captain Marvel. So, I believe she's confirmed for Captain Marvel Part 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
So now we're just not gonna have another character who is, playing a character role, but we have another superhero, basically. So that's cool to see that.
And Darcy, she was signed on for other multiple
Projects.
Marvel projects that she's not allowed to
So
talk about, of course, like
yeah,
everybody else in Marvel.
she has an
No,
NDA,
she said
so
that though, and you saw that she said that actually though in the
Yeah.
interview that she had to sign a
Mhm.
waiver for that.
Yep.
She can't say nothing about any of these movies or anything she's involved in. But she tried to, but
so now
what
is this just more shows, movies? Like it's I don't know. A lot of people didn't like the Darcy character. They found her annoying, at least in Thor 2. I love her,
Yeah.
I love her character. She brings that levity, that that comedic role that
Now,
a lot of these things do need. And just bring her back.
there's another thing I want to do, the Nexus, that commercial.
Hmm.
She is a Nexus being, which means that there are other versions of her throughout the multiverse, but she stays the same.
Who,
through all of
Wanda?
them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. In each instance, yeah, you're right. Because even in the House of M, everyone was just, going along with the narrative that she made. She knew the truth. She was the one who created it. So yeah, that's right. It was
I saw
twisted.
something. I saw a rumor in there. Maybe this is a thrown off one, but it's a rumor that Hayward is Stryker. It's a fake alias, and he's actually Stryker.
Oh, that would be dope.
Because he changed his name, and because he really got the role recently as like the commander. And yeah, there's a rumor that he's Stryker, that he's got the plan to remake Vision, but Vision is going to be a weapon. You know what I mean? He's going to use him like Ultron in a sense.
That's cool. For a lot of people who don't know, like Stryker was he was the one behind the Weapon X program, which included Wolverine, and even later on revealed Captain America was part of the Weapon X program.
Deadpool. I mean,
Deadpool.
These are mutants. He messes with mutants. If that's what I'm saying. Like maybe this is something that they really got to try and branch out to get more mutants in there as well. Because if it's Stryker, that's all he messes with. That's all he tries to make even more deadly, even more crazier, and have the control of them. So maybe the rumor's true, not, but something is definitely not right about that Hayward guy.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I know.
He's up
And
to something.
It's bothering me so much that they didn't give anything away on him at all, other than just he wants Vision. That's it.
And just a throwaway line from Wu, where he was like, Darcy got through the last firewall, and he mentioned Cataract again, and just that he wasn't trying to decommission Vision.
You're trying to
I
bring
guess
him
he was
back.
trying to backwards engineer him, so
use him to control him. That's exactly what I was saying. Make it like
make
Ultron.
more. Yeah.
And what's crazy is that all this is connected, because Nexus beings are monitored by the Time Variance Authority,
which is Loki.
TVA, which is in Loki.
So, once again, Kevin Feige proves that he is a genius.
He's like the Stan Lee of the cinematic universe.
He really is. That's a compliment in the highest regard right there. This guy he's really pulled apart this cinematic universe, and just everything that he fought for, just to have control of it. If it wasn't for him, something like Civil War wouldn't have happened originally.
Mm-hmm.
Civil War, the idea
producer
of it
in the first X-Men.
Oh yeah, he saw the vision of these comic movies, from a distance, and he stayed with it.
Okay, where are the kids?
All for the kids.
Right? No. Well, one, where did all the other kids go? But also, where are her kids? What happened?
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
What happened?
Oh, she's got them trapped. So she probably got them in some kind of chamber or something. You saw there's many doors there.
But not only that,
people think that
there was a missing kids.
They think that the bunny and the cicada were the kids, because it
could be
like the white with the bunny, but then the green as cicada. And
on one of the milk cartons that she was drinking from, it had a missing
kid.
person thing. So, and it was a kid. So that's crazy. What was that book that was in her lair? When she goes down and she kind of realizes that her own kids are missing, and she starts investigating, she goes downstairs. There's this book that's there, and it looked like something that was in the library from Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like, it's not like I'm saying I saw that book there. It just looks like it fits in there.
There's a book missing in Doctor Strange. And where the books are being stored on those walls, they're inside of hexagons.
So, it all ties in, clearly.
But it's glowing.
We're probably going to see Doctor Strange
protected.
soon.
The book is glowing like it's being protected by something, or there's like a force field over it. I still
say Mephisto is in there somewhere.
Oh,
I don't care.
I feel that her kids were an essence of him on how they were created, and he took them. Somehow.
Could be.
Somehow.
This total thing could be just the lore Wanda, bring her to Westville, and bring her, like, put her in such a state that she's able to be controlled, and they'll use her power to open that book. You know, maybe they just got her there and they did all this just so they can control her, just to get this book. You know, this
It
was
looks
the
like it's
first
being
episode.
protected. So
What was that?
it looks like it's being protected. There's
Yeah, it looks like
you know,
there's some
a
sort of
glow on
like
it.
some charm or something that's protecting it.
And it's orange if you look at it.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
know, the
and you know
orange
when
is always
she-
used. You know what orange is usually used by? Strange usually everything that Strange
The
does
sorcerers,
almost
yeah.
is orange, just about.
Not only
All
the
a lot of
Sorcerer
his
Supreme,
spells.
yeah, but you know, all the other Wu. What is his name? Wu, the guy that
Who
goes
also
with
has orange,
Wong?
no?
Wong. Sorry.
Wong.
It's just how their power is displayed. So it looks like that's something that was protected, or you know, something that one of them would have cast on that book.
Their type of magic that they use.
Yeah.
Yes.
So interesting enough, this was the first episode that had a stinger.
Wait,
What was that?
we both like what?
No, this is the first episode that had this. You know, at the very end credit.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
this
it
is
had a credit scene.
well, you know, it is. I think because now we're in the cinematic universe now. Because when she went through that hallway, the bars came down, and it became cinematic. So now we're out of her TV universe, and now we're in the real world of the cinematic universe. And then
So
that's
does
where
that
the
mean
end
that
credit
this is
begins now, because now
so
we're
that this is the end of the episodic approach? As saying nothing. So everything we get now is just going to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm okay with that. Like, I love the episodes for what they were worth, but you really can't go back and do any more. It's Vision knows. Vision was told everything that happened to him. You know, Darcy told him. He was like, "So I died." Yeah, and then you died again. You know, once by her hands, and then this guy brought you back, and he killed you again.
Oh yeah, she went in depth with Thanos and all that. I mean, yeah.
So
I
Vision
love how he was
knows
just sitting
who
there, and
is.
he's like, you know what, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't understand why I'm sitting here with you guys, or like, and realizing like all of these little obstacles, like, really.
Which was, all right, so who was doing that? Was that Wanda keeping him away, or was that
Agnes.
Agnes? Like, you know,
Yeah.
we don't know. Like, but yeah, that little reveal at the end, the stinger, where you know, Pietro, who was like missing the entire episode, he's there. So, like, what role is he gonna fill in? Is he her husband, Ralph? Is it revealed that he is really Mephisto? Like, it has to get answered, because we do know one thing: he's not Quicksilver.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
Who's gonna
he's not
say?
Quicksilver from the X-Men universe, the Fox universe.
No,
He's not a recasting of her brother.
I think because Agnes was behind it, she was kind of like the producer director of WandaVision, where Wanda is the creator of the series, but she was pulling the strings. She was behind it. So I
Mhm.
feel like, so maybe that was her casting choice, was to throw in Pietro, that Evan Peters,
And not only that, you got to realize that the actual
to make her look just as confused as Mike looks right now.
yeah, like, you have to realize the
He's like,
actual story,
"What?"
like the story runners and the producers and everything, the people behind WandaVision, they have to keep us, the audience, surprised.
Mhm.
So just casting him as, you know, Quicksilver, everyone was, you know, mind blown. Like, oh my God, are they bringing in the X-Men? You know, is it no, we had no idea. So their job is to keep us, the audience, on our toes, and that was done beautifully. Like, you know, up until now, everyone had like no idea what was going on. There's nothing but theories, and now the fog is starting to lift, and we have a greater idea what's happening.
So the person that, okay, so I feel like Paul Bettany said that it's been a person that he's always wanted to work with all his life. Who could that be? For somebody as, I don't know how old he is, as Paul Bettany, but for someone as old as him, who would that be that he would want to have worked with all his life? Now, could that be
Keanu Reeves as the
Magneto?
Beyonder.
Okay. Now, people are saying it could be Magneto, like Ian McKellen. And
It could
I-
be
I
Sir
would
Patrick
think-
Stewart.
I would think Ian McKellen, because, you know, it's now time. It's older, so he's older.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be Fassbender. He's the younger version.
That would introduce the mutants. That would introduce X-Men.
It could
It
even be
would, but
Project
then
Stewart,
also, but why bring in the old franchise if you're going to start a new franchise? So why would bring in those old characters unless there's an intention of somehow flipping the universe and now it's just like brand new people playing these characters. But why would you bring in your some other franchise that you just got when you want to kind of like forget that a little bit and then move on to build up your own new one? Why would you?
It definitely leaves a lot of questions because in doing that kind of
Pietro I get, Pietro I get because he's just somebody else.
Well, yeah, but
like, oh, okay.
Even like with bringing him in, and let's say Quicksilver would have been actual Quicksilver from the Fox universe, then you're acknowledging that universe really does, exist. So things that happened there existed, even if it's not the same universe that the MCU movies takes place in. You're now, lending to the idea that, all right, so these are stories that did happen. For the common viewer, things might get a little confusing as far as, where does this movie fit into this and that? Not so much, us, the diehard fans who do know. So is that a route that they want to go? Risking the confusing, just confusing everyone. Do you do it as like a subtle nod and like, yeah, that's her father and that's also Magneto, and someone maybe like my mother-in-law who enjoys the movies but doesn't know too much, that might just go over her head and it might not have any weight, to why he's there. But for someone like me, it's like, oh crap, like, how, okay, so how does this fit into like a larger picture? Like, how do these two universes now collide? Does that universe just merge into this one? A lot of questions, might be a little messy. The easier idea or route might just be to just recreate everything anew. But with that being said,
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I feel like why bring in, Ian McKellen or Patrick Stewart if you're just gonna revamp that franchise eventually anyway, unless your whole thing was to just close out that story and then start off a new multiverse timeline and Doctor Strange or something. Especially Superman, Spider-Man's that's supposed to be coming out.
Like apparently Patrick Stewart was approached at some point by Kevin Feige to reprise his role,
and he said no.
He said no because he's done playing that role.
But he said no.
But same thing for
same thing
for
I know
for Logan. He's done playing that role.
Yeah.
He's battled cancer. I think playing the role of Wolverine is a very demanding role. Maybe that's something he doesn't want to redo. Like he's not going to reprise his role as Wolverine.
If it was like if it really was a road trip with Deadpool and it had no physical aspect to it where he would need to be really in shape or do things,
he could be old man Logan. He could have been old man Logan.
I wouldn't.
We're talking about Hugh Jackman, by the way. I totally spaced out and forgot his name. But Hugh Jackman.
He could have honestly. Well, I threw it out there. He could have been Logan because you got Deadpool is forever. He could have been old man Logan. Could have been doing a road trip, and it could have been somewhere in that timeline around the end of Logan.
True.
You know what I mean? Somewhere in that timeline, they could have done that, but then that's who knows that. Like you would talk about, Hugh Jackman doesn't care for that role anymore. You can't do it. It's too old. Plus, the cancer has taken most of his active, parts in a lot of roles. Because now he's just playing
that bad. Huh? I don't think he's that bad. He just had a little skin cancer on his nose.
Dude,
you got it in place. That's it.
You haven't seen him in one of the latest Netflix interviews. This guy if he's only going to do roles where he's not going to be running around anymore, man. He's going to do tiring roles because he's looking old as crap.
Watch his ass get incredibly jacked just to prove you wrong.
Right.
There was this dweeb on Netflix on YouTube who's talking smack about me. Hey, you was speaking smack about me, mate? I just had to pick my big boy pants and get a little bit jacked.
Before this thing goes, did you guys notice? I thought the last three were going to be an hour long. This wasn't
Yeah.
even 40 minutes.
I mean,
Now,
I
all right.
think it was rumored, but and now supposedly the last two are supposed to be hour long.
So if you look at the runtime, I think this might have been the longest one. I think it almost hit 40
39.
minutes.
39.
39, right?
39 minutes.
They
that's
do have a
not- but-
long end credit scene though.
They have like two end credits. They have
Dude.
they have like regular credits, and then they have other credits.
Yeah.
And then you have the previously on, and then you have all that taking up space.
So we're looking at maybe 35 minutes of runtime, which is still long, and I think the longest episode.
39
so far.
runtime. It's on 39 runtime. I looked at it on
I think
PS
that's
39
a
No,
runtime,
it is
though.
39, but if you take away the credits and then the actual intro,
Yeah.
you have 35 minutes maybe of new footage.
They always do that though. Like with the, if you look at the WandaVision, it's almost like 5 minutes or so at the end that they don't use just for credits.
Yeah.
5 minutes for credits. How many people you got on the show?
That's
Hey,
exactly.
like,
listen,
it's
these
on
people need
39.
recognition.
It's two
You know what I mean?
credits, and I don't know why, but I'm thinking, and I've noticed it on Netflix too, where you get like the regular movie credits, but then you get a whole other set of credits, and I think maybe because it's streaming.
So I guess the streaming team who actually put things together, it could be, who knows.
I guess.
So yeah, that episode was crazy. We know there's two
We
more
miss
episodes
anything?
left. It's gonna get crazier. You guys have any predictions for what might happen?
I already said mine.
Mike is like,
No, I already said mine. I think Mephisto is jumping in somewhere in there. That's my prediction. And they need to introduce the villain. This is not the villain. Because
No.
I think they're going to introduce a villain for Doctor Strange off of this.
it could be
That's what I think.
Nightmare.
Which is Nightmare. Yeah. So
I think because she's messing with the reality so much and what's going on, not only are you going to have someone like Doctor Strange come in, because that's kind of what, these sorcerers were doing. They were making sure the dimensions, the reality aren't like torn apart. You might even get a guest cameo from Loki, who's part of this, time force and about, repairing things. Just throw Loki into the bunch, because you have these new shows coming out. You have to show that they're linked to each other. So this might be a way. So who knows?
I think Doctor Strange will show up.
He's going to get the book back. I think he's going to come back to get the book.
If that's her book. If that's his book.
That's it. Who else's book is this, man? Come on, there's only
There-
one. big
there's a
book.
bunch of books in Marvel though. There's a
Yeah,
few
but
books.
that's his. Come on, it's got the orange. I feel it's got the orange around it. It's got their kind of protection spell on it, and he's already got the next movie coming out. He's gonna come in and take the book, and he's gonna come in and he's gonna try and stop whoever's working with Agna Harkness. What Harkness? Sorry.
Heartburn.
Yeah, heartburn here. Too much coffee. Are we
Yeah,
ending this
yeah.
off, or
What was that? No, we're going.
no?
That
I
was the
mean,
last second.
And her blanket had double hexagons within, like, as a hexagon within a hexagon on her blanket.
So they're still sprinkling little things, little tidbits for us to see.
There are
Two more
hexagons in that
episodes
little dungeon cave area. There are hexagons
Yeah.
up there too.
I guess between this episode and the next is when the special effects really get kicked up. You might see some crazy battle scene, and yeah, I think it's gonna end with what's his name, Hartman? Is it Hartman? Whatever the hell his name is.
Hayward.
Hayward. I'm all over the place. It's gonna end with Hayward looking like the dick that he is, and yeah.
I think he's definitely somebody that plays a major role somewhere within them, because
I just want to know where the kids
like
are.
Stryker. I think he's Stryker. This smells like a Stryker kind of thing. He's always in the back. He's always got tests going on. He's always trying to mess with some kind of thing that involves, the heroes of the theme. So it's just like he's always in the back in the laboratory, always messing with something. I feel
Maybe
like
he
this
works for AIM.
smells. What?
Maybe he
Maybe.
works for AIM. You're right.
Maybe he works for AIM. Hexagons.
Oh, that's true too.
I don't know. It's gonna be
It's just-
crazy. We have that 2 episodes, and yeah, I did the whole 3 in the morning thing again. I watched the episode as soon as it came out. Not
You
sure if I'm
animal.
gonna be able to do it this week. My son has school.
Your poor son.
But, this time he set an alarm for his phone to wake us up.
Oh damn.
Wow.
So he's on it. He's with the team, right?
Say, Daddy, get up, Daddy, son, Daddy, where are you?
Yeah, Wandavision.
Oh, where's my cookies?
Was it honey snaps or sugar snaps?
Right?
Sugar snaps.
And just
Wow.
like that, sugar snaps, we're out. And then